What's up, athletes? I want to give you a quick rundown of how to register for the Simplot Games and some of the key points that you should be aware of, especially for those of you registering as an individual athlete, which is most of our athletes, our track athletes. But if you're not sure, just sign up for the Simplot Games. It's such an awesome event. Now we always talk about, and it's awesome because some of the best high school athletes in the nation come every year, and there's always records broken and best performances made at the Simplot Games, and that's really cool. But it's also cool because everybody gets an opportunity to run, and whether even if you finish last, which hopefully you don't, but if you do, it's okay because they give everybody an opportunity to run. And that's one of the things I want to talk about before you get into registration, because there are so many athletes coming, something like 2,100 athletes or something like that, thousands of athletes, right? And they do it over 3 days. There's just no way they can let you do all 4 events. So unless you are, the best in the nation, top 10 or something in the nation in those events, right? And so what you'll notice through this registration is you're going to be allowed to register for 1 track event and 1 field event. If you do have a mark, and there's a list in here with qualifying marks, if you do have one of those, fill out the waiver and send it in. And you know what? I even encourage athletes, even if you're somewhat close to the qualifying mark, still fill out the waiver and send it in, because what they do is basically a selection process, and they'll go through and they'll say, okay, we have, let's say 100 spots left in the 60-meter dash. So they'll go through the waiver or the exemption applications, and they'll say, okay, yeah, this athlete, he's top 6 in the nation, we're going to put him in. But depending on who signs up and who's coming this year, they might go down and be like, oh, this athlete didn't make the qualifying mark, but they're the next fastest on the list, so we'll put them in. So make sure if you have a time or a mark in the field event that's generally close to those qualifying marks, go ahead and fill out the request to be added to a second event. And then another thing with that is, I believe, and I didn't see any info in here but to confirm it, but I believe you can also do 1 relay. So you could do 1 open track event and 1 relay, and then you would have two specific running events. And if you're an Idaho school like we are, you'll be able to enter the all Idaho relay competition, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's get into this. Go hit the register info button, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that goes through like what you need to do. You need to make sure you sign all your forms. Everything needs to be done through the registration format, not don't print stuff out and send it in later, because that causes a ton of headaches when you're talking about thousands of athletes. If you are a coach and you're watching this and you're bringing your host school and you're paying for the school to come, or they're paying you and then you're paying the fee, make sure you fill out the form for tax exemption, especially if you're bringing 50 or 100 athletes. That can save you some money. And then registration fee is pretty straightforward. There's a $20 straight fee, and then $5 for event, and that's that $5. If I understand it right, if you sign up for or you request access to one of these events that you're not sure if you're getting in, they don't charge you that right away. If they let you in the event, I think they'll charge you the extra $5 at some point. You can choose to not get a packet or have a packet. I think if you're just registering by yourself, you have to get a packet, but like with us, we're not registering as a team, but we have 6 or 7 kids going, and so they can just select pick up packet with a friend, and they'll just give you 1 packet. You don't get that extra $5 charge. Now just remember that you won't get your own Simplot Games program, which has posters in it for the Olympians, and you'll get to come get autographs for myself and the other Olympians, and which is kind of cool. And there's some, it's kind of a cool memorabilia thing to have that packet or that booklet, but you won't get it if you don't get the packet. You can buy them there, but just be aware of that. And then make sure if you're registering an individual, you sign up for the individual portal. Don't create a team unless you're on a relay, and then relays have to have a team account set up. If your coach isn't helping you do that, a parent can set up, or you can set up a team account yourself. Just make sure your relay teammates sign up under the same account, and you have to make sure that you spell your name with capitals and everything exactly the same as you do on the individual sign up page, because you'll sign up as an individual for your, let's say Open 200, but then you'll have to come and sign up in the relay team account if you're going to do a 4x2 with your team, and your name has to be spelled exactly the same. So let's say if your name's like JR, don't put capital J capital R in one and then in the other one capital J lowercase r, because that's going to screw up the system. Anything else in here that we need to look through? So you got to sign these participation and liability stuff, and you have to do it on the system again. You don't print it out and sign it and send it back in. You have to follow the instructions in the system to do it, and it's probably best to do it on a computer. I'm on a phone showing you this. It'll look very similar. One thing, I haven't looked on the computer. Before I get to that, note that Sunday, February 12th is going to be the last time to sign up, and they will not take exemptions. So don't delay. Just sign up. If you're going to do it, sign up now. On a phone, and maybe this is different on a computer. So this red box, it looks like it's just a title, but that's actually where you click to register. That was a little confusing, because I was like, where do you sign up, right? But I just started like tapping around, and I found out this red box here is not a title. It's actually the place. So registration for the 2023 Simplot Games is now open. You tap that to go to the registration form, and here's where you can fill out an account and everything like that, and it gives you the dates to remember once again. So that's how you register for the Simplot Games. I hope everybody signs up and comes. It's a phenomenal experience. Not only is like watching the events awesome, you're gonna see people from Pocatello come. So there's 6,000 or 7,000 people in the crowd cheering you on. There's records broken every year. There's a parade of athletes just like they do in the Olympics. There's some cool after party stuff where you get to mingle with athletes from all over the world and hang out, and like it's just such a fun, from my experience at the Paralympic Games, where there's a lot of extracurricular activities outside of the actual competition. The whole goal of the Simplot Games is to recreate like a mini Olympics or mini Paralympics, where not only is there phenomenal competitions, the announcers are professional announcers, so they're getting the crowd hyped. Not only that, but there's just so much fun stuff outside, just like there was in the Olympic Village or the Paralympic Village. So highly encourage you to come to the Simplot Games. And if you happen to run across this video and you live somewhere else in the nation or outside in the world, if you are a coach or a high school athlete, do what you can to make it to the Simplot Games. It is a phenomenal experience. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, or call the Simplot Games. They're great people. Lisa and the volunteers in the office do an amazing job of running this event.